Hello, the Darkness344 here. Today we're going to be building the second part of the Redstone computer. We are going to be building the main program counter. And you're probably screaming at me like,
"Oh my god, he's done stuff off camera. He told me he wasn't going to do stuff off camera. I'm so betrayed."
you know what, I'm just going to break all this and show you, just in case you actually don't know how to place a few blocks. So, oh my god, I haven't done anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to block out, say we're going to block out a fair distance. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that probably is far enough. And we're going to block out from here, make sure it's this one and not this one, because it just looks nicer. And we're going to bend around and do the exact same like this. So make sure it's 14 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And that should be 14 blocks away from, yeah, so 14. And we're going to go out one more, so 15, I know, not 14, so we can actually place a repeater right here. Then we're going to do the exact same with all the others, like this, go around like this, and giving this much space is actually a very good idea, because from my other computer I thought this was way too much space when I built it, but actually no, it was more than enough space. I mean, like, it was actually a struggle trying to fit stuff in here. I know it looks massive, but actually in reality it's not. So once we've done this, we can place our repeaters down here if we want, like this, and we don't need to place the repeaters in at the moment, but it's probably a very good idea we do this. Now, once we've done this, we'll have to place another repeater here anyway. You know what, I might as well do it now because I'll forget about it later. So make sure everything powers everything. So that powers both of them. It's only this one that doesn't get powered. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a repeater here, like roughly around there, so it gets powered. You should be able to figure that out, and this one of course will get powered because it's right there. Then we're just going to bridge across, and this will be our main data bus, you could almost say, and we will have stuff coming out of this like this and going this way as well. But for now we do not need that because we're just building this part of the computer. This is the program count. We're going to be building the program counter, which is pretty cool, and we're also going to be building the actual opcode for it, the machine code. So now that we've done this, what we're going to do is we're going to go 1 out again because we can. Actually, we'll go 2 out on this one, and we're going to place repeaters. To make sure it reaches, we're going to turn that on. As long as this can go on, then it's good. Make sure it's the maximum signal length though, so because if we had a repeater here and we had a redstone, it should not power. Whoops. It should actually, no, it does. You know what? Should we go out this far? I don't know if we should. How long is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're just going to go 14 because I've always done 14. It will be easier, trust me. So, now that we've done this, we're going to want to actually build the CPU, or well, not the CPU, but the program thingy. The bit where you put the program in. And for the program, we're actually going to be putting probably the Fibonacci sequence in, because that is a very good program for this computer. So we're going to build out like this, and we're going to have 15 lines of code. You can reduce it to 8, but I recommend 15 on a 4-bit computer. I mean 16 lines of code, because you have line 0 of course. You really don't want too many. You don't really want any more than 16 on a 4-bit computer, but you don't really want less than 8. I was originally going to put 8 on this, but you know what, we're going to put 15 because that means you can do some really cool programs. So now that we've got a fairly long line, we're going to block up like this, and we're going to bridge across like that, so it's 1 across. So we know it's 1 across, but if we put redstone down, we can put torch and it will power like that. That is what we want. Now that we've got this, we're going to count. So we got 1, and I'm just going to go across like this again. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and we don't have enough. so we're going to have to go longer. So that was 8 we got up to. We actually need double that because we're going to have 16 lines. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We only go up to 15 because 0 is a number as well, and so that's 16 in total. So we can break all these blocks in the middle because we do not need them. We need these though. We need these lines though, so don't break them. So now that we've got this, we're going to extend this all the way to this one. Since we're placing torches on the front and not the back, we can put it up to here and we don't need to go under. So we're going to do this with all these 4 lines, and we only have 4 lines at the moment because we only have an adder, and we only need 4 lines at the moment. We're going to be building an additional 4 lines to these 4 lines in a minute. I know it's a bit confusing. And then we can run redstone down here. And hang on, let's just run the redstone down like this. It's better to do it now than never, because then you don't really want to be running redstone down when these have been built, because it's kind of annoying. So we're also going to need to find out where we need repeaters. So first of all, we're going to count 14 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And since it's right under here and we can't go here, well, we technically could go there because it's 15, but we're just going to place a repeater right under this block. Make sure it's under the block, like that, or else it will break. So now you want to go like this as well on these ones, and we're going to do the same on this line as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we're going to break it, and we're going to place. I know, it's making it a bit less efficient, and you can change it if you really know what you're doing, but it's probably not a good idea. So now that we've got this, we can build these out, or we can do the next step. I suggest the next step. So we're going to go out like this, and we're going to make sure we have 4 more lines. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is all we need at the moment. All we're going to have on this side. We're going to have all the rest of our programs on this side right here. So now we're going to build all the way back like this again, like the other ones. So make sure you go all the way back like this, and yeah, so like this. So once we've got this, we have 4 lines, and we're going to add redstone as well because that makes it a whole lot nicer. And I'll put the repeaters in later. It's normally quite a lot easier to put repeaters in later. So yeah, make sure those are on 1 tick. Windows Defender. Oh yay, how fun. Some of you may have noticed by now, I'm not sure if you have because you might not be able to, but I haven't activated Windows. You'd be like, ah ha ha, he's poor, lol bot. But actually no, I have lots of Windows keys, lots of Windows 10 Pro keys, but I'm not activating them because yeah, I'm probably going to get an SSD one day. One day, I keep saying this, like probably been saying this from a year ago. One day I'll get an SSD. But yeah, because I have really bad storage solution at the moment. I only have, yeah, I know it sounds really weird why I have this little storage on a fairly decent machine. I only have 320 gigs of storage on a 7200 RPM hard drive. That's like nothing. It's a lot still, but it's nothing, and I've actually had to get a spare hard drive that I had, a 60 gig hard drive, to hold all my videos because they've gone over like 50 gigs now. It's kind of stupid. But yeah, hopefully I'll upgrade to a bit more, so like 500 gigs, 1 terabyte in the future. And you can build these bits, but we're just going to do this for now. And we can put redstone over this just to make it a lot nicer. And we'll build the rest in a bit, but first we're going to do this. And we're going to build the whole thing, so we're going to have to work out what else we want this computer to be able to do. And I will show you that in a minute. So, and we'll also label them, so it's much easier. But first of all, we're going to build the program counter, because that's nice and easy to build. And we're going to be using a design by Benny's Cube. Well, at least I think it was by him. I don't know, it's built like 8 years ago now. It's just a simple design. that we're going to use to make it addressable. So this is going to be our line 1. So this is line 0, but this is going to be 1, 1, 2, 4 and 8. We're going to label it just now to make it easier for us later. So we have 1, 2, 4 and 8. So there's 16 lines in total, because if you turn these all on, it will go to line 16. So if we go like this, it'll go to line 1, which is this one. If we leave it blank, it'll go back to this line because this is 0. If we go like this, it'll go to line 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll go to line 4 because it says go to line 4. And then we can loop it and stuff and do some cool stuff. But I'll show you that in a minute. Now, what we really want to build is the actual thing that goes to the certain line. So what we're going to do, we're going to give us a bit of space. I've forgotten how much space we actually need for this. I think we need 2 blocks of space, and we're going to have a pattern like this. It's a weird pattern, but it should work. So pretend we have a torch here, we're going to have a block up here, we have another block here, and we have blocks like that going down to that. Yes, this is enough space. So from here, we're just going to go bring this pattern on all the way down the entire length. You have to do this, or this is a very simple version of a decoder. I mean, like, it's big and yes, a bit annoying for some people, but it's quite good because it means it won't take a long time to decode stuff, and there won't be too much flickering and stuff in the decoder. And it's much faster than, say, a regular decoder, like a very simple decoder that I use, like the one, I can't even find it now. Yeah, like the one over here. So as you can see, this is a very small decoder over here, and it's very compact, but we're not going to be using that because it's too inefficient, because each 2 blocks adds a tick of delay, and we want as little as that as possible. So now that we've got this, we can go breaking these ones, actually break them except this line. So break these 2, because we do not need them. And then we're going to have to build 4 more of these, and I'll show you how to build them. So as I've said already, everything that I'm going to be doing will be on camera, because you have to admit it's really annoying when some tutorial guy says, oh no, I've done it right. When some tutorial guy says, so make sure you break in between these, or else, yeah, you've done it wrong. Sorry, forgot to mention. So it's really annoying, and then you have redstone along here, and you can redstone up like this. It's really annoying when some tutorial guy says, oh yeah, I did this off camera. And it's like, oh my god, not again. And you just can't do the tutorial. So we're going to go like this again, but like, is that the right height? Yeah. So like this. So you leave a 1, 2, 3 block gap in between this and this one, like this. So if you leave a 2 block gap, this will go like that, and it'll block this signal, and you do not want that at all. And we're going to do this 4 times, so I may speed up this footage, alright? So yeah, I'll show you how to do it in the footage, but yeah, we'll see when I'm done. So hopefully this would be sped up, but who knows, it might be slow, sadly. So yeah, 3, 2, 1, time-lapse time, oh yeah. I realised now that was quite cringy. Starting to time-lapse now. So, now that we've done this, hopefully that was a good time lapse with some, yeah, oh well, it probably wasn't. But yeah, now that we've done this, we can actually start work. I've just realised I could have done these a bit one further, but I'm not going to change that now because I've already done it and it's going to be really annoying. So I should have done it like that instead. But oh well. We're not going to bother because it will not change too much except just make the computer a bit larger than it is, but it's not going to change anything important. So now, what we're going to do, since this is 1 on this side, say we'll put it here because that's quite easy to do. So we can go line like that and like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to hard code it in. So 0 would be 0, 1 would be 1, 2 would be 0, 3 would be 1, 0, 4. So as you can see the pattern, it goes 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And we're going to do this with all of them. Then on the second one, we're going to do the same but for 2. So 0 for 2 is 0, 0 for 1, 2 for 1 is 0, 2, nope, nope, yes, yes, actually, yes, yes, I don't know. You might see the pattern here, so it goes 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, so 0, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0, and 2, and 2. There is a pattern, as you can see. That's the same with 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, whoops, and that is the exact same with 8 as well, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, perfect. Now we're going to have to do this bit, so what we're going to want to do, should we go up like this? I'm not sure it would hurt too much. Yeah, we can go up like this, so yeah. On every one that you don't have a torch, you're going to place a block. Actually, no, we can't go up like this. We're going to have to go up, say this way. We'll go up this way because this is a fun way to do it. So on every one of these blocks, you're going to place a torch like that. Make sure it's on this side. It really doesn't matter too much, but make sure it's on this side. You're going to place a block on top of that torch, and you're going to place another redstone torch. So you have this pattern, and it should be off if your input's off, and these should be on if your input's off as well. And then we're going to do that for every single one. So first of all, I'm just going to place the torches in. And then once I've done that, we're going to place the blocks. Then we'll place the second set of torches. And we have to do this for every single one of them. So I'm not going to speed this up because I'm not sure there's much point. It might be hard. So then on these blocks, we're going to place torches this side of the thing, and they should be off. If they're on, you've either placed it wrong, or this torch, or your input's on, or you haven't placed that torch down there. So now we're going to do it on the exact same one over here. If my mouse doesn't get stuck on my keyboard. Ferricles. Oh yes. I've placed them on the wrong side. We're going to place it on this side just so it is nicer. I cannot break stuff. My accuracy probably is not that good. I am currently, if it'll show up, which it's not for some reason, I'm at 4500 DPI sensitivity, so fairly high. Not super high, but fairly high. And yeah, I switched from 18,000 a while back because 4500 is just a lot faster and nicer to use. It means you do not have to completely wear out your hand dragging your mouse back and forth. And I've done those on the wrong side again. I'm really not doing it today, am I? I broke that piece of redstone. So, yeah, as I said, this is the second part of the tutorial, and this is the CPU, and I'm slowly going crazy, as you probably can tell. So we're going to do it on this one too. So yeah, because we don't need it on this one. Now we're going to add the blocks in. And yes, I know I could have really done it one. I'm still regretting that decision that I made, but it will not matter too much. May make it easier for some people. So we have to do on every single one of these. Oh, and we're going to have to add torches as well. Rip that. So make sure you have torches on every single one of the blocks, or else it will not work, and that's not what you want, because you want this decoder to work perfectly. I advise you actually try this out once it's fully built, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Just for the reason you don't want this broken. If this is broken, it will mess up your entire program, and which will mess up your entire computer, which will be super, super, super annoying. So now that we've got this, we can go up like that and join it to this line and build across like this. If you're and make sure it only goes up to here, because we only need it up to here. You know what? I'm just going to place blocks on top of these torches again, so I can run it down easier. If I can actually aim today. Low sensitivity may be an option. I'm not sure why my sensitivity is not showing up. It normally does with Razer hardware. Oh yes, Razer. They're a decent company. Yeah, it's expensive, but as long as you don't get anything too expensive, or you just get it all second hand, then they're fairly decent quality. As you probably know by now, I'm using the Death Adder Elite. It's a fairly decent mouse, but I like the Death Adder 2013's buttons a bit better. They are nicer. I've forgotten what brand the Death Adder 2013 switches are. I think they're like... oh, I've forgotten the name. I don't know. But they're nicer than the Elite. So now we've done this. And to test it, because some of you guys may have done this wrong, which wouldn't really not be good because you could mess it up. Oh yeah, remember to put your redstone across like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And we may need a repeater here. You know what, we're going to... actually, we can go 15, can't we? Because... yeah. Actually, no, we need a repeater here because we want to be able to place torches here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a repeater like this and blocks on top of that. If you put a block on top of that, it'll mean the redstone goes down like that. So, and then if you put a torch on that, it'll turn off. And if we input the number 1, which is like that, it should turn on, as you can see. You may be beginning to see how this all works. If you don't worry, I will explain it all. Whoops. So remember, redstone across here, and make sure your last one reaches that repeater, or else it will not work. This decoder is actually very important to make sure everything works. Other things are not as important. Say you mess up one RAM cell, it doesn't matter as much because you could just use a different RAM cell all the time. But this really does. If you mess this up, it won't just affect your program, it will affect your entire computer. And make sure every single last piece of redstone is there, or it'll break. How fun. So by default, this line should be off, and we're actually going to put the blocks in before I forget. And I know this is annoying because when you're programming, you actually have to fly down and place one there if you want to put the one, but we're not going to bother about that. You could bring this further back if you really want, or change the repeaters around a bit. So we've got this now. Now what do we want to do? We want to try it. So by default, with all of these off, it should be 0, which it is. It's on line 0. Say we want line 1, we're going to put in line 1. It goes to line 1, which should mean this line's on and all the lines... no, this line's off and all the lines are on. That is good. We want it that way. We don't want to not it, because that means if we put a redstone torch here, if this line is on, which it is currently because 0... you know what, I'll do it with 1. Say line 1 is on now, it gives you out your input of line 1. So it will turn on any torch that's on line 1. So if input the number, don't even know what that number is, to your ALU you built in the last episode, it will come in, it'll only input that number on line 1. We also need to work on the inputting, because I'll show you that once we've finished this decoder. So which we pretty much have. I would test out all the numbers, make sure they're all working. So like try out, like what's this number? This number is 4. So try out 4, make sure 4 works, make sure all the numbers work, make sure all the combinations of the numbers work. So do it all the way up to 15. So I don't know what that number is. That's like 4 plus 8, 12. Yeah, and 12 should be off, which it isn't. Aha, that is because we've forgotten repeaters. We will add those in a minute. So yeah, if it's not working, it's either repeaters or it's not working. So either add repeaters right now and try it out, or do what I'm going to do, where I'm going to add repeaters last. Actually, no, we'll add them now. We'll add them now, just to make things a bit easier. So yeah, we'll go 2 out because that makes it a bit easier for some people. Or should we go 1? 1 or 2? 1 or 2? We're going to go 1. So go 1 out like this, and we're going to do the exact same thing as we did over here, where we're going to be building our registers. So we can break these blocks, but I'm going to keep them for now till I build this one up. Actually, no, keep those blocks there. Like that, then, because we need to go 1 like this. So if you place a redstone torch here, it should be in line with that. So I don't know why I did that. Oh no, I'm going to have to do this again. Oh no, what have I done? Alright, there we go. So we're going to have pieces of redstone here, not there, but here. And we're going to have our redstone torches facing into those lines. Now before we build the rest of the register, what we're actually going to do is we're going to put the repeaters in. So go along the line to where it stops, then go back 1, make sure it actually goes in there where it's not at the moment. So then you're going to go here and put it there, so make sure, because that's a big issue. Say it's going here and you put a repeater here, oh, it's all good, all the rest is powered, but this one isn't powered. Even though this is powered, this won't be powered because it's 1 away. So, and you can't put a repeater there or it won't work. So make sure you have your repeaters in, and we're going to do that with all of them, making sure that they all get powered where this one is not. So we're going to have to place another repeater there. So, and then we do this with all the lines. So we're going to do it on this line as well, the exact same position. And now's the time you can test out all your lines work, or if you've already done that, well done, I guess. If I can place some repeaters. So yeah, there we go. Now all the lines should be on, except that last line, because these are on at the moment. Now we're going to finish building the registers. So once you've done this, we're going to need to build the next step of register. So just place a block on top of every single one of these. I'm going to be building them all at the exact same time. Once we've got that, hello phone, we're going to be building 4 out. So you have 4 like this. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you add 3 blocks to it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3 blocks added. Then on your third block, so right about, not here, but here, you're going to block down like this, so you have this almost T, wonky T, as I've said in my last tutorial. Then you're going to redstone torch, 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 redstone torch. Oh, we're just done. Then we're going to place 2 bits of redstone down like this, and a third bit. No, and then we're going to place a repeater right here. Now, we're going to connect these all up because they all have to be connected up because you update them all at the same time. So like this, if you do like that, it updates them all. And remember, add your torches or else it won't work. So remember, add your torches on the back. And then we're going to go down like this, and we're going to go 1 out again. And we're going to build like this. And I will do that on every single one of them. This video is probably getting quite long now. So, oh well, I'm not going to change that. I could make it shorter by doing all of this off camera, but I'm not that mean. So now, since we want 1 on this one, and this is number 1 because we've programmed it in, we're just going to attach this. So, just attach it like that, and done. We've done our number 1. Now we want to do number 2. Actually, we're going to break it down and do it like this, because that gives us even more space to work with. Now we want to do our number 2. Okay, that sounds weird. We're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to go out a bit more further like this, and we're going to go around there, and that should link up like that. to make sure it works, we're going to, since line 0 is off, we just put a repeater here. If it's not off, just make sure all of these inputs off, flick that once and it should be off. We're going to have our input here and we're going to flick this off, make sure it's off, so you can actually tell. You can either break the torches or flick it, well, on, to make sure the redstone signal reaches. And where it doesn't, we're just going to put a repeater so it does reach. Now if we go like that, it should actually have saved that number. We're going to flick it again. Oh yeah, that's because we haven't got that one on, because it's already on that line. So we're going to break that and we're going to flick it again and it should go back to that line. Then we're going to go like that so we have the rest of them. Now for the rest we could either go all the way around, but that uses up a bit more space. So instead what we're going to do, we're going to branch out round here and we're going to go upwards instead. So we go like this. And this will go to your line 3, like this. And you're going to do the exact same on your line 4. So we're going to go round and up like this, bridge across, and then bridge up, and across like that. And that is the exact same on your line 4. Now we have to make sure it works, like the redstone signal length is strong enough. So we're going to place all the redstone in first, because that's probably easier. And we're on the 0 line, we're going to place torches down so we can tell where the signal ends. So signal ends here on this one, so break in place, and it does go in, as you can see. And it's flashing back and forth because it's not done yet. Then the second one, we're actually going to turn this one off once we've done this one. So this one's on. As you can see, it goes this way, all the way down here, up to here, repeater, it goes up to there, but since we can't place well, we could and put a block there, but we're just going to place a repeater here because it's easier. So now it should work, and this should be flashing because it's addressing to that line, then it's addressing back to this line, it's addressing to that line, and it's addressing back to this line. So now we're going to turn it off, make sure there's no inputs in here, and flick it. This is a pretty cool line because this clocks it, so each time you want a new number, you just flick it once and it clocks. So we're going to test this out now, and then we're going to build the last part of this, and then we'll be done for this video. I know it's getting quite long now and you're probably bored, but oh well. You could probably do this in 2 parts. So first of all we're going to say, oh, from line 0 I want to go to line 1, from line 1 I want to go to line 2, from line 2 I want to go to line 3, from line 3 I want to go back to line 1, and that loops it. So it goes from line 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and stop, and doesn't use line 0. So at the moment it's line 0, flick it once, it goes to line 1, flick it again, it goes to, don't flick it too fast or you'll break it, goes to line 2, flick it again. This is basically clocking it, each time you flick it, it clocks it, goes to this line, which is correct, and it should go back to line 1. Which we saw there, and then it will just loop again and again. So you can just click flicking it. Now we're going to break these because we don't want them anymore. And we're going to reset it. Since there's 0, we're just going to update it again. And it should go back to line 0. Now, for the last part of this, we're going to add in the rest of the program lines, and we're also going... should I do this in this video? You know what? I will. We're going to add in the ALU lines. So right next to this, since the ALU is, the ALU register's right here, we're going to have these lines as the ALU registers. So say ALU, 2 A's, ALU register A, 2 A's again, and ALU register B. And these will be connected up there in a minute. But first we need to do the rest of these. And this is your main data line, so I would label this. So I think 1 is this side, so we're going to go 1, 2, 4, and 8. And this is your main data line. This is quite important. You could do this in a different color to make it a bit easier if you really want to. So now we're just going to keep building across for our different codes. So the last ones I tend to leave for the RAM because that's normally easier to do. So now, since we're doing all the registers here, We're also going to do the display register, so display. So now we've done that, all we need to do now is RAM, I think. I'm going to check if we've missed some in a bit, but yeah, I'll check if we missed some. So we're going to do RAM, so RAM 1 and RAM 2, because we only have 4 RAM cells, so we only need a 2-bit number, and we're going to do read and write. These may change in the future, then we can break these. So I'm just going to check now if we need any more, and I'll get back to you in a minute. So I've had a break, and indeed we have actually missed some. We have missed add and subtract, which is not a good idea if we miss them. So we have our display, and we're just going to put add and subtract here, because we want our RAM last, because we're going to have our RAM right over here. So we're going to have display, after display we'll have add, and then add, and we'll also have subtract. These basically work by, after you've inputted the numbers, they basically let these go up on the same line as it's done. So then we have our RAM, we're going to put 2 over here actually, and then we have 1, and then we have read, and we have write. That is all the commands we're going to use for this computer. Feel free to add your own, but I'm not really sure there's too much more you want, I guess. You could add more of the A or U, but then you have to change some of the design, so then we'll have repeaters here like this. Then we're going to extend these lines out. I'll do this in a time-lapse probably, and then we'll extend these lines over them, and I'll do that in a included in the time-lapse too. So yeah, because all it is just filling this in with these wires. So yeah, see you in a minute. So, now that we've done, I have noticed one thing that I have not included in this yet. We need to include the repeaters for this line too. So basically fly under here, make sure it's on the first line, and put the repeaters down like this. Just break like this, and we're going to do it for all of them. Actually that's sideways. Make sure that's the right way around. I don't have to go under as well. And we'll do it for these ones as well, where they don't even have blocks. Funny. So once we've done this, all we need to do now is add the repeaters for these ones. I recommend starting on a line that's actually on, and then going to a point where it turns off, so here, and make sure this section is not covering these lines, because if you put a repeater here, you can't put a torch here. You have to be able to have a repeater redstone on top of that torch. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this here, because that's where it ends, and we're going to put a repeater. Hopefully it reaches the last one. Probably doesn't. No, it doesn't. So it reaches up to here, and I know it's going to be stupid, but since we want all our functions, we're just going to put repeaters down like this as well. It's only for one block, and they're probably raised to make it faster, like longer signal, but we're just going to do this because it works. I want to remember to break that torch. So, I was planning to add in the relays, to add in the showing which relays in this episode, but it's actually gotten quite late now, so I will do it in the next episode. The next episode will be about building the RAM, I think. Let me see. Yes, it will be building the RAM, which will be very cool, because then it will start to actually take shape. Then the episode after that will just be linking pretty much a lot of stuff up. So yeah, the next episode will start off with us doing the relays and also probably doing the add and subtract in, wiring that in. It'll wire it all up, and we'll also build the RAM. So that should be fairly cool. So yeah, please like and subscribe, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. And yeah, because it does take me quite a long time to make these videos and edit them and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I am out.